So, after much deliberation, I decided to make an entirely different lesson plan than the one I sent to y'all last night. Nothing has changed from lesson plan 1. So that's exactly the same. But starting on slide, after you've introduced systems thinking, just as a concept, conceptually, starting on slide 15, I made an entirely new plan that I think is much better than what I had before. What I had before was not interactive and it was lazy and I didn't love it. So I made something new. Still has the same warm-up, like what is the difference between these two things? Ask them to, recall what they learned from the prior lesson, that, a pile of things is just a pile of things. It doesn't, I can remove something from that pile and nothing changes. Versus a system is all about interconnectivity. And so if you change one thing, the whole system kind of is impacted. So then you play this video, give them a chance to talk about it. Why is systems thinking important? This is all about unintended consequences. The kids really like this video. You give them some time in breakout rooms, like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, to debrief this video. And then here's the brand new activity I came up with. So how do we avoid those? How do we avoid those unintended consequences? We're going to do a breakout room activity to start to begin to think about thinking in systems. So first, they're going to see an example of non-systems thinkers. I found this cool website that has some stuff on systems thinking. So you'll tell them, go ahead, guys, and open the document in Schoology called Thinking in Systems. So that is this document that I just finished working on. And I'm going to link it here in the slides so that you guys can put it in Schoology. Or you can copy it from my Schoology. But I'll put it here in the slides as well. Where are the slides? So they're going to open a document called Thinking in Systems in Schoology. The first thing that they're going to see when they open that document is just some examples of the difference between not systems thinking and systems thinkers. So you're going to spend some time with your group just kind of examining those examples together. Then you're going to do a task of your own, a protocol of your own that includes making a systems map. Tell them, you guys need to read the directions really carefully and really closely. Everything is explained to you step by step, but call for help if you need it. So I'm going to show you all on the teacher end of things what this is going to look like. So they have these two examples of okay, guys, so here's not a systems thinker, here's a system thinker. Here's example number 2. This is just to kind of get them thinking about the difference between not systems thinking and systems thinking, and now here's their turn. So they have a situation, a teacher wondering why students are becoming less and less engaged in their distance learning class. A non-systems thinker would be a teacher creating a punishment-based policy where students lose class points for not turning on their camera and talking in class. They're going to try being a systems thinker. So step 1, they're going to brainstorm factors, including system elements. So here's the directions for them. You're going to write down 8 things that might be related to this issue. 8 things that might be related to this issue. Then they're going to map out these factors. So this is what I did. I made a systems map designed for them. When they click on this link, it's going to take them to the make a copy page. So they make a copy of their own. It's like a forced copy link. So now they have their own. They write in all their factors. So all the factors that they brainstormed, they type them in here. And then and the directions are really clear here. So step 1, write in all your factors in the Post-it notes. Then move the Post-its around in clusters, try to find things that are similar, and use the arrows at the bottom to show connections. Like factor 3 is connected to factor 4. Factor 3 is also connected to factor 7. You might want to model this for them because it could be confusing depending on your students. But the purpose is they're just trying to map things out, see where they find connections, right? And so try to move their Post-it notes around and as well as use the arrows to show connections between things. Then they go back after they do that. So again, you might want to model this for them and actually show them what they're going to do. So, okay, guys, first you're going to brainstorm 8 different things here. You don't need to write complete sentences. This should take you 5-6 minutes. Just brainstorm students tired, not sleeping enough, bored in class, texting with friends, things like that. And then you're going to make your own map. This link is a forced copy link. Again, like I just showed you, it's actually going to force them to make a copy. And they'll make a copy of their own and then follow the directions to map out the system. Then they'll put a link of their completed map here. So you might model. So once you guys finish mapping things out, you're going to grab your link, get the shareable link, and place it here. And then your last step is using that map and using that process, come up with 2 suggestions for the teacher that are more systems based than this non-systems thing. Like this teacher was like, I'll just punish them. Based on you guys doing the systems map, what are 2 suggestions you would make to help this teacher? And that activity would take about like 25 minutes. At least that's what I would put. So I'm going to make it as an assignment in Schoology, and then they would submit this final document that includes their link to their completed map. I think this is much more interactive. It much highlights systems in a more visual way than just having them watch videos. And these causal loop videos, I watched them like a million times. They're not great. I didn't love them. And so anyways, I came up with this instead. I think it's more interactive. It helps them to really see the purpose of thinking in systems. After they do that, you might close with these notes. All right, guys, so that activity was intended to help you see the mapping process, see the connections between things, and that's really what it means to be a systems thinker. You understand big pictures, you see patterns and trends, you recognize how a system is actually part of the behavior. You know, it's the non-systems thinker just says, oh, I'll punish the kids. A systems thinker looks at the whole classroom system and says, well, why are they acting this way? Maybe I could change something in my classroom. You identify cause and effect, and that's kind of where you close that day. And then we'll pick up in the next lesson plan introducing some more systems tools. But I think that this is a much more interactive way, a better way to get them to think about systems thinking as a whole.